Hello, everybody. Pastor Randy here. Welcome to Making It Simple. Great to be with you on this beautiful Thursday, and hope you had a great week so far. And looking forward to continuing our discussion about purpose. When we think about that word, again, there can be all different types of thoughts about that. What is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of that? And I asked my daughter that the other night with this math that she was doing. But again, I realize, there's all different types of ways to learn things. But when we think about the words that John has given us to ponder, he must increase, I must decrease. We talked yesterday over the first three words is a statement of worship. It is a statement of conclusion of where this must go. But then we turn to the last three words and we look at that as a statement of humility. The state of being humble, the understanding that there's something bigger than me. It pretty much collides, it pretty much conflicts with the way things are in the world today, because we do live in an extremely selfish time, or a time to where we see a lot of exaltation, if you will, a lifting up of many different things. John said, I must decrease. What was he really trying to say here? He is saying, it's not about me. If all the attention is coming to me, then my cause, my purpose, my call, my intent, it's not getting the attention. See, we miss that oftentimes today because we place another, or sometimes maybe ourselves, at the center of a movement. And oftentimes we forget the movement, and all the attention goes on the individual. And if that individual is not able to maintain a humility, I once heard a person say that they were bigger than the entire industry that they worked in. Now think about that for a minute. That's an arrogant statement, but it also is a statement that says, I want all the attention. I am more important than the entirety of everything that we're doing. That's an easy place to get into because we all struggle with ego. John here is saying, I'm not after this being exalted and lifted up. That's not what I'm here for. That's not my intention. I'm not looking, and I'm not trying to get praise from everybody. It's about Jesus. It's not about me. I would say in ministry, in ministry as a whole, this statement alone is vital to the importance of the expansion of what we do, and that is sharing Christ with people. Because I understand this. And again, I don't say this to be critical. I don't say this to point fingers at others, because there are many who have done incredible works for the Lord. But many today that are on that big platform, and I say this not out of jealousy by any stretch, because anybody can do this, what I'm doing. But many are able to take it to the next level, and they get all kinds of attention. Here's the problem. Oftentimes, it's only their name that is mentioned, never Jesus. Think about that for a minute. Your favorite TV guy or your favorite well-known guy, and I'm not knocking anybody. I try not to do that unless they're just outright wrong. But how often do you hear their name in comparison to Jesus? And I'll just leave it at that. John is saying, it's not about me. It's not about me at all. It's all about him. Today, what we see as it has become unveiled and birthed, I guess, for lack of better words, in the media, is they absolutely break their necks and just trip up over themselves to get to anybody with the smallest amount of significance. And it doesn't matter what field it's from. It could be from politics to Hollywood, from baseball to football to tennis to soccer to, it doesn't matter. The latest person that just got the newest fuzzy picture of Bigfoot. It doesn't matter. Okay, if there is any level of significance in something that somebody has said or done, there's a camera and a microphone. They get a lot of attention, whether it's for a moment, whether it's for a season, or whether it's for a long time. Attention can be a good thing if indeed it is furthering the cause, if it is helping the situation, if it is getting the word out. But the one receiving the attention has to be able to keep that in check. I read stuff and I hear stuff and I know people in all different types of industries and walks of life. And I've known some that is very humble, and I've known some that is extraordinarily arrogant. I recently read this long tirade from someone, and the amount of I, the singular letter referencing the individual in that particular montage of words, I guess maybe is what I don't know. It was ridiculous because everything was about them and how great they are and what they do and this and the thing is, it's all made up. It only belong. John had developed quite a following. Okay, he was well known. He was popular. He received praise from those who liked him and those who loved him and those who respected him. His family was well known. The story of his birth was a big deal. I mean, there was all this different stuff going on. The large crowds that came to see him, all those that came to be baptized. In the midst of that, he could have easily become puffed up. He could have easily become arrogant. But John got it. He realized, I am here for a purpose. I have an assignment. We all do. Every believer, every person, in fact, has an assignment from the Lord, and that is the Great Commission. Just not all accept that assignment because not all come to know him because some say no. But John had the proper perspective. His life, and he realized this, was to exalt Jesus. It was to lift up Jesus. His life and his work was to honor Jesus. He realized that he had to come first. That's why he said, he, being the Lord, must increase, but I must decrease. What a powerful statement, friends. What an incredible statement. So as we think about that individually, if we reflect upon that as a church, the body, universal, all over, and maybe in your individual places, wherever you go to worship, when we think about that, this statement of humility, this statement of worship, he must increase, I must decrease. This is so incredible when we begin to understand the power of these words. As we look at the times that we're in and the days ahead, as we think of these words, we may struggle with that and think, well, how is that possible? Well, if you go back to the Old Testament and read the story of the spies that went forth into the land that had been promised, and they came back with the report, and they said everything is exactly like God said it was. It is incredible. But always changes the tone of the conversation, either positive or negative. In this case, it was negative. They said everything is there that God said. Everything that he said we could have, it's there. But there's walls, there's giants, there's all. So they said, so we can't go. But Caleb, 85 years old at the time, he said, let's go. Let's go at once and possess it, for we are well able. He must increase, I must decrease. I am capable because he has equipped me to be, because I am made in the image of God. We need to remind ourselves of that. And being made in the image of God, are we reflective of God? Do people see that in us? Do they see him, or do they see our us? That's been a question that I've asked many, many times through my teaching. How does your purpose, and I am asking this to myself as well, how does our purpose compare to that of John? One may say, well, I'm not, it's not about the position that you hold, the title that you carry, the industry that you work in. You as a believer, you as a follower of Christ you are a mission on your own. You have the ability to show Christ. So the question is, do we? Has that become our purpose? Has that become our directive? Because when we think about these words, 6 little words, it should cause us to pause, and it should cause us to ask, does Jesus have first place in my life? We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Lord willing, if I'm able to be back with you tomorrow. If not, it'll definitely be on Monday. Because Scripture not only says that he must have preeminence, and that just simply means first place, but the question is, do we allow that? Is he increasing while we're decreasing? That is not saying that we're not important. That is in no way self-demeaning at all, but rather it is saying, I know who's more important, and the more that I show him, the more others will come to know him, the more lives around me will get better, because indeed, it's all about him. It's not about me, because my reward will come when I stand before Jesus and hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. God bless you all. Thank you for joining me for Making It Simple. I love doing this. I hope and pray that it's a blessing to you. I'll see you the next time we're together. God bless you. Have a great day.